Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dane, your host of the Rocky Middle Guardian. I hope you're doing great wherever you may find yourselves, and blessings to all of you wonderful people out there. At long last, I'm doing my review of the new Swans album called Birthing, and here is what it looks like. Keeping with the tradition of the simple, less is more concept for the album art, I do like it, the recycled paper cardboard look, if you will. The front having the circle with the cork-looking brown, and then actually that's the back, and the front is the darker brown, almost a black. So this is the front, and this is the back. It's a 2 CD affair. I think the vinyl is 3 or 4 discs, at least 3 vinyl records, I mean. And then you open it up, and you get... Well, you open it once, you get this. Oops, did I get it in the shot? There you go. And then you open it again, you get this. And this is where the booklet goes, which is also a minimalist affair. It's the front. Here's the back. And then, of course, it has the song lyrics, as they're wont to do. Let's talk about who's in the band. As you know, Michael Gira is the voice of the band and the acoustic guitar player. Then you have Phil Puleo on drums, hammer, dulcimer, flute, melodica, percussion, Christoph Hahn, lap steel guitar, electric and acoustic guitars, loops, backing vocals. Dana Schechter, lap steel guitar, bass guitar, loops. Christopher Pravdika, bass guitar, loops, sound, keyboards, and something called the Taishogoto. Larry Mullins, mellotron, keyboards, piano, synthesizer, drums, vibraphone, percussion, backing vocals. Norman Westberg, electric guitar, loops. Guest musicians: Jennifer Gira, backing vocals, cameo vocals. Laura Carbone and Lucy Kruger, backing vocals. Andreas Dorman, soprano sax. Timothy Waskita, drums on the merge. Little Mikey, cameo vocals. Martin, guitar loaned by Gary Schmaltz. Record produced by Michael Gira, go figure. Recorded in Berlin at Soundfabrik, and the recording engineer Ingo Kraus, assisted by Kieran Gaudy. And there are other, of course, credits, but those are the main ones. So this will be a track-by-track review, if you will. And as I said, it's a 2 CD set, and as the Swans are wont to do, a lot of epic tracks here. So let's get started. The first track is The Healers. And at the end of each song, I will let you know what is my overall feeling, good, great, that sort of thing, terrible, that kind of thing. So The Healers, 21 minutes and 42 seconds. You have the song begins with some ethereal voices in and out of the mix with a drone and ambient sounds. Then a string motif comes in, vocals come in soon thereafter. You hear Gira sing, wings spread out across the sky. Of course, that low baritone of his, and then he sings, she fell from heaven, but I caught her, which is lovely, and there's lots of other vocals here. I'm not going to read a lot of vocals here today, but at the 8-minute mark, it shifts. As you know, if you're a Swans fan, the last 7 or 8 albums, you have a lot of shifts per song, right? Because they're long, that sort of thing. At the 8-minute mark, more upbeat and rhythmic. You have the drone on equal footing with, let me start over. You have the drone on equal footing as if competing with the industrial beat that's going on. And it's an industrial beat, but without the tools of industry, so to speak. So you don't hear literally drills or that sort of thing, but it has that industrial flavor or texture to the music. So the upbeat and rhythmic and the industrial sounds are competing with that drone, and it's on equal footing in the mix, is what I mean. Then you get some mumbled vocals in and out. Of course, that's the order of the day with Michael Gira's shtick with the last 4 or 5 albums. His vocals come in and out. Anyway, and then at the 11-minute, 40-second mark, thereabouts, the lyrics are up more in the mix, but of course not wholly clear. And during this section, you have the siren-like sound effect created by the music, and this siren-like effect is added to the rhythm. Let me repeat that. The siren-like effects created by the music is added to the rhythm, is what I meant to say. And you get this kind of bum, 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 blip sound, bum, 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 blip sound. It's really cool. Kind of like a heart monitor, perhaps. And then that continues on until about the 14.5-minute mark, where Jira is singing about heartache. And then later he shifts to, the song shifts to a more ethereal atmosphere with harmonica, if you can believe that here, but it works. Then you get this crushing atonal section after the harmonica piece, or ethereal / harmonica piece. Again, crushing atonal goodness is what I have written here. It's heavy, it's great. All instruments are in, so to speak. You have these industrial whirls, though not drills per se, but something akin to that. It's brief though, but it's really cool. And this slows down to a long stretched vocal of angelic ahs, and then Jira singing in and out. Okay, song's not over yet, because Jira then sings, I pray for you, and then you have this angelic sounds in the background, uplifting tempos and rhythmic beats at the 19.5-minute mark thereabouts with ambient sounds. And this is the climax of the piece, lasting to the end of the song. And of course, the song ends abruptly for dramatic effect. And this is an excellent song. I'm very fond of the song. I won't say the minute it came on, I was like, ooh. Of course, I was like, ooh, because I was excited because I'm getting, finally listen to the new album. But it didn't take long, about a minute or two in, to go, okay, I think I'm liking the song. And of course, have to wait to the end to make the decision. And I love the song. It's excellent. So The Healers is phenomenal, a phenomenal song. Then you get the hit off the album, because this song was posted on YouTube a bit in advance before the album came out. And I chose not to hear it. I wanted to wait till it came out. And I'm glad I did. This is a song. I'm going to let you know how I feel about it. This is an epic track as well. It's 19 minutes and 18 seconds long. It's called I Am a Tower. You have this low female vocals right off the bat. It's dark, it's moody and chilling, soundtrack-like music. It's eerie. Jira's voice comes in at the approximate 3-minute, 50-second mark, and he sings Searching for the Truth. Now, at this point, having been a Swans fan for a long time now, it's just now occurred to me while listening to him sing Searching for the Truth, realizing that Jira has a connection to Morrison, whether Jira is a deliberate fan of the Doors or not. But Jira, moment, right? Light bulb going over the head too late, because this goes back to 7 albums or 8 albums ago, or even way back further than that, where Jira's connection to Morrison, again, whether deliberate or not, or inspired or not, is he has this desire to, be the spoken word poet of the age, if you will, this new age, the 21st century, where Morrison was the 20th century. And I dig it. I don't know why I never made that connection sooner. Is it a fair connection? I think so. You may disagree, of course, but I think that Jira wants to, have his cake and eat it too. Let's do some rock music, a la Swans, of course, but let's have that poetic vision in there, kind of like in the way that Morrison was a big fan of Blake. Well, I don't know if Jira is a fan of Blake, but it has that Blake-ian type quality to it. I can't describe it better than that, but in this part of the song, it's like Jira's conjuring or casting a spell. It sounds like it's great. Then at the 7-minute, 8-second mark, you got some droning, low whistles in the mix. Thank God it's not like the Scorpions, right? Winds of Change. It's not like that. It's totally different, thank goodness. Normally, I don't like whistling in music, but here it works. You get low crushing percussion as well at that 7-minute, 8-second mark. And this lasts till about the 9-minute mark, where you get some dobro guitar in, droning, low in the mix, and then that disappears. And other ambient sounds is very ethereal. It's great. At the 11-minute mark, same as above with the dobro guitar, etc. But now you have 2 voices, female and Jira, mixed with those ethereal soundscapes. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's so captivating. Then at the 13-minute mark, you have the transition to upbeat rhythmic sounds and set with the soundscape and cool, heavy guitar. Exceedingly cool and nice. It's not it doesn't stay with the song throughout the rest of the song, but it's really nice to have that here. Then at the 14-minute mark, Jira sings "I Am a Tower" repeatedly. It's really cool. It's interesting here because it's got this 80s sound to it, that new wave 80s sound, which is something I don't like really, but here it works. It works so well with the music. So again, at the 14-minute mark, you have this cool new wave 80s sound to the music, and I like it. Then at the 17-minute mark, the vocals disappear, then come back. It's much of what occurs in Swans' discography, especially the last 7 or 8 albums, right? And he sings "I Am a Lamb" and other things Jira claims to be, though brief. Now, again, this could be a stretch, but singing "I Am a Lamb" is more evidence that perhaps Jira is a fan of William Blake, the poet from the Romantic Age, because of Blake's poem "The Lamb." And the overall, or rather part of the theme or motif of this album from a lyric or message standpoint is dealing with innocence and maybe loss of innocence as well. And that was part of Blake's shtick. So anyway, he sings "I'm a Lamb" and other things that he claims to be. Then the song ends with a few words from Jira. And this is a powerful song, and my assessment is that it's excellent as well. So right off the bat, the 2 epic tracks at the beginning, there are other epic tracks here, are excellent. Then the third song is "Birthing," and this was on the live album Live Rope, which came out before this. This is a shorter version. This version is only 22 minutes and 21 seconds, whereas the live version was 15 minutes longer than this one. Excuse me. The intro has a quasi-yes feel to it. I can't explain it any more than that. Kind of reminds me of the opening to "Close to the Edge" without the birds, but in a more subtle way. A very prog-like intro nonetheless. Then a soaring sound with tinkling yes-type sounds, if you will. Again, "Close to the Edge" type tinkling sound underneath, though. Not up in the mix anymore like at the beginning. All very soundtrack-alike. Meandering wave of music washing all over you, essentially. 2.5-minute mark. Haunting, moody, dark tones with tinkling sound. Still in the mix. It's very gripping and compelling. It's like heaven and hell have collided. I don't know why I wrote that, but that's what it makes me think of. So, and I've talked about more of that, how Swans has this combative versus hushed and lush and ethereal thing, like angels and demons fighting. So I guess that's part of that as well. Shift at the 3-minute 50-second mark. Menacing intermittent guitar and drum sounds that are in and out, like riding the waves in an ocean, coming up and down, up and down, up and down. Then there's a shift at the 5-minute mark to a more ethereal sound, like "Heaven is victorious over hell." Lyrics at 5-minute and 44. Then the lyrics come in again at the 5-minute 45-second mark, but incoherent. It's okay. I like it though. At the 8-minute 14-second mark, the dobro comes in with those baby noises, that I mentioned on the live version. And here, thank goodness though, it's much lower in the mix. It's still annoying, but it's briefer than the live version, and it's so low in the mix that it's not as obtrusive as the live version. And I said that was the one fault of that live album, Live Rope, which I love, is the baby cooing ba 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 noises. Here it's again low in the mix, so it's really not that bad. I don't care for it, but it's not that bad. Again, thank goodness it's so low in the mix. The dobro is wonderful. So you have that. At the 9-minute mark, transition to a more upbeat rhythms. Jira is now way low in the mix, incoherent though brief. This 9-minute mark going forward to about the 11.5 mark is extremely powerful, perhaps my favorite section of the song. Repetitious rhythms throughout this part, and it's like you're riding those waves faster and faster, trying to keep up, is what I've written as my comparison to describe the music. And then around the 11.5 minute mark, the lyrics return. It's slow, excuse me, what I just said, the transition section that I love that's powerful, slows down at the 11.5-minute mark. Then the lyrics return to the 12-minute mark, and Jira sings with piano and background ambient soundscape sounds. Then the dobro returns, all beautifully arranged. It's genius. It's almost like a lullaby, but it's a Swans lullaby, if you will. And then it shifts to Jira asking, will it end, repeatedly. Okay. Very compelling. Then at the 16.5 mark, give or take, you have the female voice, piano, scratched record sound, like when the turntable comes to the end of a side and it sits on the lack of music grooves and just keeps, scratching. Sounds like that. End of the turntable moment, if you will, low in the mix. It's kind of cool, I guess. And then Jira and female have a low conversation while that's going on. Then at the 17.5 mark thereabouts, you have this pounding rhythms. It's wonderful. Love that heaviness from the band. Then at the 18-minute, 20-second mark, it's soft again with Jira singing I Saw You twice, and then some other lyrics follow that. The 19.5-minute mark, back to pounding rhythms. It's great. Grows in intensity and quickness. It's wonderful. It's one of the best parts of this piece, although it's all good here. And then late in the song's almost done. You get the guitar added underneath this pounding. I'm not sure if it's the dobro or not. It's hard to tell. And then the song ends. Overall, a powerful and memorable song. So the last bits of music here is Jira returns to singing and has I Saw You with some other lyrics, and then it grows and grows in intensity with the pounding rhythms, and it gets quicker and quicker and more intense, and then you have the dobro underneath. And then it ends very abruptly. It's just a good song. And how good is it? I have described, let's see, go back to the beginning. This is an excellent song. All right. Next is Red and Yellow to begin side 2, disc 2. This is a shorter piece, just shy of 7 minutes. It begins with hushed, whispering vocals from Jira and female voice, perhaps his wife. It's like a creepy lullaby, and you have a slight echo to all of this whispering. It picks up at approaching the 2-minute mark, that whine, that drone with percussion, and then at the 3-minute mark, Jira begins to belt out vocals in and out of the mix, and you have the background female vocals come in at times as well. And part of the lyrics I have to share with you so you get where I'm coming from. And this song is about lust in many ways. And part of the lyrics are as follows. Licking your fingers, you butter your shadow. Your belly is pregnant with plaster and sawdust, and lust feeded us in disgust. So you get words like lust, in us, it us, lust, disgust, etc., etc. But what the problem here is the female voice throughout the song, or most of the song, it sounds like she's just saying nus, 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 and it totally ruins the song for me. I do not like the song. I'm just going to tell you now, Red and Yellow I don't like. So, and then after the 3-minute mark, you get all this nus, nus, nus stuff, and it's low in the mix, and yet it's loud enough to get in the way of the enjoyment of the song. And then at some point it gets lower in the mix, but it's still not, I don't like it being there at all. You get low in the mix, you get some guitar, I think it's guitar noodling, and then some horn, I think it's the saxophone, which I do like, and then the song stops abruptly. It's a shorter piece, but as I said, I just don't. This is a song I do not like whatsoever. If you took the nus, 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 or lust and in us, whatever, it sounds like she's saying nus, 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 but of course it's lust and in us and disgust and all that. It would be a better song. It would be a good song, not a great song, but the nus, nus, nus sound, whatever you want to call it, totally destroys the song. I don't like it at all because of that. All right, next is Guardian Spirit, the second song on side 2. 10 minutes and 58 seconds, another epic track. This is ethereal and pastoral at the same time. The ethereal section is, or the ethereal part to open up is a soundscape, right? And then what makes it also pastoral is equal in the mix. You have this zither or flute, which is a nice treat. So it's angelic and creepy at the same time, because the pastoral part with the zither or flute is angelic, and the soundscape or ethereal soundscape is the creepy part. So it's that blend of angelic and demonic, as I've want to describe this band so many times. Then the rhythm comes into the mix, drums and guitar, motif, if you will, or more like a run through. That because a motif pops in and out of a song, it's more like, as Swans are so wont to do, they lay down, this is the guitar rhythm throughout the piece, and it goes from beginning to end. It's like that for the most part. The vocals come in at the 2-minute mark. The rhythm here is totally trance-like. Excuse me, I love it. It's fantastic. Let me get a sip of my water. Sorry about that. Allergies. So the vocals come in at the 2-minute mark. You get this rhythm, which is so amazing. It's very trance-like, hypnotic. And then vocal phrasing from here. The vocal phrasing from Jira is really nice here. It's more coherent than some of the vocals elsewhere on the album. And then the middle section, about the 5.5 mark, is very compelling as well. And then Jira's really on fire here because he's full of angst in this song. Vulgar lyrics at times, but it works. Then the shift approaching the 8-minute mark. You have this quick moment of silence, and then this rhythm motif returns without vocals to the end of the song with drone-like whine, siren-like soundscape, and percussion ramping up in intensity. This is amazing, this ramping up in intensity percussion is fabulous. And is that all I have to say about that song? It is. And I've written down that this is a very good song. So we have some excellent songs here, one snooze and one very good. Next, still side 2, The Merge, the 6th track. It begins with a recording of a little girl or a little boy saying, "I love you, mommy," and then right after that, right off the bat, pummeling percussion drums with electronica mixed underneath. Way to describe the song is Lou Reed meets Jim Morrison because of the spoken word poetic stuff, meets Tangerine Dream, meets King Crimson, meets Godflesh, meets Sun O. So that's how I'm describing the song and much of this album to a degree. But what's interesting is you get the I Love You, Mommy, then this pummeling heavy music, right? It's great. And then electronica mixed underneath. But the electronica mixed underneath, it works well. It sounds like a sci-fi computer from some sci-fi movie from the 60s or 70s that's trying to calculate. But it works. And then you get this ghost-like female voice coming in this cool rhythm, King Crimson-like section. It's brief, though. 2.5-minute mark, layered whine on top of that. Really cool vibe going on here. Then there's that whistling from a previous song, similar here. The 3 minute 10-second mark with rhythm and percussion. And then a few seconds later, you get this traditional or almost traditional guitar in the mix with flute or zither or sax, kind of like a King Crimson meets a Jethro Tull, sort of. It's really cool, though. Then you get some electric piano at the 5-minute mark, but it's brief. I wish there was more of that. Approaching 5.5 minutes, you get the computation, noises, electronica again. I still like it. 6-minute mark, child speaking, counting numbers 1 through 10, and then 10 backwards, and then he starts counting in German, I believe. Then there's a shift at the 6.5-minute mark. Total shift to a dramatic soundscape, like you're watching a movie. Something dramatic's going on. It's haunting, but dreamy at the same time. Has a Tangerine Dream quality to it, a ghost-like quality to it. It's like a spirit has come into the room, right? A little past the 9-minute mark, you get the same of that. Sorry, you get that continued, but louder. And Jira here too returns in the vocals, but subtle in the mix mostly. And then it slows at the 11:10 mark. And then you get just the female voices and soundscapes. It's very haunting and ghostly, like I said. Approaching 12 minutes, Jira sings spoken word lyrics. and some acoustic guitar from him. It's fabulous. That acoustic guitar is fabulous. And this carries on to the end with other voices coming in at the last few seconds. This kind of bum, 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 lightheartedness. I'm not doing it right, but that's what it is. And then it ends on that note. So the merge I have marked as excellent as well. Then we get the next track, still on side 2, of course, which is Rope. Like Birthing, this was on the live album, Live Rope. And I'll go ahead and say it now, that I think the reason the song was called Rope is because it would fit on the album. That's the spiritual album that he did with, My Father Will Guide Me Up with a Rope to the Sky. I think it's an allusion back to that sound, and it sounds like it. This is 14 minutes and 50 seconds, so another epic track. It begins with soundscapes, angelic, and the dobro comes in short after. 2-minute mark, drone-like wave of sustain comes in. It's beautiful, it's dreamy, it's moody. It's exquisite, actually. It's a master stroke from the band. It's ethereal, it's beautiful, it has grace. This is very transcendent, so it so worked well on that album. Transcendent is the key word here, folks. You have some subtle percussion at the 8-minute mark. Unfortunately, it's brief. I wish there was more of that. At the 12-minute mark, it picks up in intensity a bit, and then it lowers again in intensity right at the end with hushed vocals, which are just beautiful. Those hushed vocals are that kind of ah-ha-ha interjections. It's wonderful. And then that segs into the last track, because at the very end of Rope, you get like this kind of Celtic flair vocally, which is what begins Away. But before we talk about Away, Rope is excellent. Away, again, begins with that Celtic flair to continue from how Rope ended, so it's kind of continuation of that song, sort of. So it has a Celtic flair to it, as I said. The vocals almost right away in the song. The song is only about 4 minutes and change, so it's the only short piece really on the album. Jira singing about missing someone or people named Catherine, Alice, Simon, William. It's a song about loss and questioning life and the afterlife. Overall, it's a slow piece, but a good one. It has a Celticness to it. It's got the dobro in brief moments here. It's poetic. It's a lovely song. It's got some great lyrics. Again, it's a song about loss, questioning life and the afterlife. And perhaps because it's a short piece and because it's much different from what else is on the album, perhaps this is suggesting where the band is going for their next endeavor down the road after their tour. Because when Jira posted on the Young Gods website that Birthing would be the last of their, and I'm not quoting him directly, but this album would be the last epic type, or the last in their phase of their current sound, if you will, and they would move on to something a little bit more accessible. Again, not an exact quote, so this may be a hint as to the direction that they're going in. So let's review. The first song, Birthing, is excellent, so 1 excellent. Okay. I Am a Tower, excellent, that's 2. Third song, Approaching excellent. I meant to say not excellent. Birthing is approaching excellent because of that ba 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 baby thing, but close enough. So 3 excellents really. The fourth song is terrible, so 3 excellents and a terrible. Then a very good. Then another excellent, and then another excellent, and then another very good. So overall, I would not give this album legendary or masterpiece status, but I think it's great, despite the fact that you got 1 terrible song on here, because you have so many songs. Most of them, the majority of them, are excellent. You got 1 terrible and 2 very goods, and I think there are 7 or 8 tracks. Again, a 2-disc set. If you've not listened to this, and you can listen to it before you buy it, listen to it first, and then if you like it, buy it. But I went and bought it first. I didn't want to listen to it. I just wanted to. Sometimes it's fun too, like in the olden days before you could stream things, before you could listen to things on YouTube. You had to buy it. So I wanted to take that chance, and I'm glad I took it. This is an album worth having. Now let me say this. Where does it rank in the last 7 or 8 albums? Dead last. But that's not a bad thing. It's still it's a great album. But compared to Their last album, I like their last album much more compared to compared to the vinyl trilogy, if you will, which includes The Seer and The Glowing Man, etc. I like those much more compared to this, but it's still a great album. It just has one stinker of a song. So there you have it, folks. Tell me what you think about this album if you've heard it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now.